eating butthole.
Hopefully our camera doesn't die. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the podcast.
I'm sick.
Yeah, you got me sick.
I'm under the weather.
I have a sore throat. I'm dying. I have the suds.
The suds.
Oh. Yeah. Woke up this morning. I kind of had one last night, sore throat. But, this is not our bit. This is not our podcast bit. This is, what's it called? Not Are You Garbage. Fucking Taste Buds. If you don't know the Taste Buds, it's a podcast where they argue like two foods. They'll be like, what's better, peanut butter and jelly or grilled cheese? And then these two comedians will just argue which one's better.
And they'll be so happy that we're shouting them out.
Yeah.
They'll be so appreciative.
They will be. But if you want to listen to a hilarious podcast, listen to it. But they've done so many food combinations that they moved into like other things. And the one that they did was what's worse? Sore throat or stuffy nose?
I think a sore throat is worse.
Really stuffy nose.
I don't know. That's what I'm going through right now.
Honestly, I have a sore throat.
So what do you think is worse?
Sore throat, for sure.
I think sore throat's worse.
But you're not that. I can hear like
I used Flonase about 40 minutes ago. It's feeling better right now, but it was awful this morning. But honestly, dude, this is probably the most congested I've ever been, and it's like making my equilibrium fucked up.
I've only had that a couple times, or when you can't hear.
Yeah,
that never really happens to me. But this year, I was like, dude, I'm having trouble hearing, and you're just like, ooh.
Yeah, the past couple of days, my hearing has been really muffled, but then also, like, what happens is I'm so congested and there's so much shit in my sinuses that it's like it almost like triggers my gag reflex a little bit, which is really gross. And then I feel like I'm gonna throw up and I get nauseous and dizzy. It's like fucking with me so much.
I know somebody who, if they
really sucks.
If they don't, if they feel like they have to shit for too long, then they have to vomit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the idea.
Imagine like being a kid and feeling that and being like, is poop gonna come out of my mouth?
Bro, that's what he thinks. He's like, I get so backed up that I vomit. And then when he goes into the bathroom to shit, he says sometimes he'll shit and then turn around and fucking vomit.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the podcast.
What a horrible life. Jesus.
So you're so congested that you couldn't hear. You know, we could talk about this, bro. Let's talk about movie theater etiquette.
Facts. Oh my God.
Dude, so first off, I've seen 2 movies recently.
Hey, wait, hold on. I want to preface something real quick. I don't want to talk about Friday night on the podcast. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
I saw 2 movies recently. Number 1, I saw The Creator, which is this movie about AI, which was pretty fucking good. I had a great time watching that movie. Second movie I saw that I've been wanting to see, the new Exorcist movie. Holy shit, was that a piece of hot garbage. Now,
you can skip it.
Yeah, there's no point in fucking seeing it. It's awful. It's awful. It's not. I'll explain why it was awful in a minute, but let's talk about the movie theater etiquette. We're sitting in the fucking theater, and you know when someone's talking in the theater, and you're like, that's annoying, and you fantasize about telling them to shut the fuck up. And then if you do tell them to shut the fuck up, they shut the fuck up, right? And it's great. This was a situation where I couldn't even tell a singular person to be quiet because it wasn't a singular group. It was like the whole row behind us. Like different groups. Everyone was just talking.
I think they all knew each other.
Oh, did they meet each other at the I'm a complete piece of shit conference?
Probably. But it was like 5 or 6 people for sure. It was really bad.
Like they were talking during the previews and whatever.
Well, no, they weren't talking during the previews. They came in late to the movie.
That's right.
And they were talking while they were sitting down. We're like, hey, cunts, the movie started already, you fucking idiots.
Then it definitely was multiple groups because there's some people talking during previews, which there's no problem with that. But their conversation continued into the movie. And like you said, these people come in and like they're talking.
They're like, wait. No, you come sit over here. It's like, yo.
So we gave him like a minute, right? You know, sometimes like if you come in and you got like, no, you sit here. Sometimes you're just like, you don't know how loud you're being.
You're corralling a group of people, whatever.
Got it. Given the fucking benefit of the doubt. Then they're all sitting and the movie's going and they're just
chatting.
talking.
They're just chatting.
Like catching up.
Yeah.
The movie's on.
Yeah.
Shut up. So that's going on. I got so fucking fed up. And like I said, I wanted to say something, but I couldn't. So because it was too many of them, too many groups. So I left my seat and went down. And I was like, I'm just gonna go down further. And then I could finally immerse myself in the movie. And it was so fucking awful.
Yeah. Immersed in shit.
I was immersed in shit. It was super slow in the beginning, and then I'll spoil it. So if you were planning on watching this horrible fucking movie, you can go ahead and skip ahead. It's not a remake of The Exorcist, but like it happens in the same universe. Like the mom from The Exorcist.
Sequel. It's a full-blown sequel.
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
And
but it takes place like 40 years later. Like The Exorcist took place in the 70s. This takes place in 2023. So
and the big takeaway that I had that it was poorly executed, I feel like. The Exorcist, although is a scary movie, it's actually like a political movie, kind of. The Exorcist, the hero, is the Catholic Church, right? The Catholic Church is the hero in the original Exorcist. You'd agree with that, right?
Yeah.
In this movie, it was very obviously that they didn't want to make the Catholic Church the hero, so they tried to make togetherness the hero. Like there was these couple big speeches where it's like, you have to come together, you have to get everybody together, get them all together, and then you'll be able to defeat this demon. So they brought in like all these people that like we didn't give a shit about because like they had like 3 lines the whole movie, but for some reason they were gonna be there for the exorcism, yeah. But then like it was all about togetherness, so they had like people from like different denominations there. But then overarchingly, it was still the Catholic Church that kind of saved the day a little bit. So it was like we're
not
trying,
really.
Yeah, I guess not really. Cause
okay. Every single part of it, like they fucked up completely. I do agree that was annoying, but honestly, I don't really care that.
It wasn't annoying.
I don't care who the hero is. I don't care if togetherness or friendship or the Catholic Church is what does it.
No,
the problem was that they spent a million minutes on all of the people that don't fucking matter. Like it was just like so much of the movie was just the dad walking around and talking to people. And not the fucking girls who were possessed. Like, it was just like everything. It was just such a waste of time.
Well, I think it's not necessarily that like togetherness being the hero is what annoyed me. It's that like first off, that's kind of corny to me. It's like
it's corny for sure.
It's based like the fucking Care Bear stare. Like let's all get together and hold hands and care the problem away. It's just essentially what they were going to try to do.
That's exactly what they did. And also, it doesn't fucking work at the very end. Yeah. So if you don't know from the previews, this movie, it's the same demon that possesses Regan in the original, and it possesses 2 girls together. And at the very end, they're doing the exorcism. The Catholic priest comes in and he's like, I will do the exorcism, in fact, because it's not going well. And he goes, I will do it, even though the church told me not to. The demon snaps his fucking neck. Goodbye. So Catholic Church failed. Friendship is failing. Then the demon goes, all right, plot twist. You guys have to pick which girl is going to live and which girl is going to die. And that's how it's going to go. And then they go, we're not going to pick. And they continue exorcising the fucking demon away. It doesn't work. Then some fucking cunt dad goes, I choose Catherine. And then the demon goes, plot twist number 2, you actually picked who was going to die. And he fucking kills Catherine. And that's it. So the exorcism doesn't work. The Catholic priest gets his neck fucking snapped. And I guess you're supposed to be happy because the one girl who was more of a main character, I guess, lives.
Yeah, but they didn't make...
The exorcism just fully failed.
Yeah, it was super weird because the one girl, like the dad's like, no, I choose her. And then she gets like pulled to hell essentially and just dies. And then they're playing like happy music.
And
like you're supposed to be happy that the one girl died and the other one didn't. But like the other girl wasn't the villain. She was like just as much like, we got to save this girl.
Yeah, and they kind of like make them out to be like this weird religious family because they're a part of like a Southern Baptist church in Georgia, and it's kind of like super church, like mega church vibes, right? And they're like a religious family, like they choose to be like
It's not mega church vibes. They're in a regular fucking church.
Yeah, well, it's a
churchgoers.
large, rich denomination, we'll say. It wasn't like a small town, like
Sure.
you know, but yeah, it's not a mega church. You're right. But like they try to make them out to be like these weird religious type. Like they get her back and she's starting to become possessed, and they're like, "Better get dressed for church, Susie."
They're just churchgoers.
Yeah,
they weren't anything super weird.
But the dad was a dick. That's what I'm saying. Like they made him out to be an asshole the whole movie.
Kind of. He was just the reason he was an asshole is because he was mad because the two girls go missing in the beginning, and he's just like pissed off. He's not that. He was not really a dick, but
like then
Dude, the people haven't seen this movie. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about?"
Yeah,
there's
so
so
fuck
many
these people or fuck that movie. I don't care. Like if you go see it, you're an idiot. So jokes on you.
It was an awful piece of shit. Fuck, I was gonna make one more point about it. I don't remember.
Pretty much. It was stupid. Oh, a lot of stupid monologues too. There was two monologues both that really fucking sucked, and just like, why the fuck are we listening to a monologue about how people need people? Like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Everything. I feel like it's a similar thing with it's a new thing in writing, like Stranger Things, season 4 also does it, where recently I've seen a lot of bad writing. Maybe it's just because maybe it's always been this and I'm just noticing it now. But when writers make every moment feel they're trying to make it feel like a big pinnacle moment, everywhere is the climax, nowhere is the fucking climax. You know what I mean? Like they do it in Stranger Things all the time. It's like big music, slow motion. Like it feels like it's the climax, but they do it like fucking 3 times an episode in Stranger Things, and in this movie there was like 4 or 5 different like big speeches or like moments where you're like, here it is, we're at the top of it, and then it's just like after you do that twice, they all completely lose their fucking potency, and then you're just left with this lackluster script.
Anyway, it was ass. You don't gotta go see it. It sucked. I'm really disappointed because like
it looked horrifying.
It looked really good. Like I was super excited, and they just fucking sold us a pile of shit. But I'm disappointed because The Exorcist already had sequels that people say are not good. So I guess I shouldn't have held this one to a higher standard when it already had a bunch of failed sequels. But this is just the latest in sequels being forced into franchises that are just going to tarnish the legacy of the original movie, and it sucks. But I guess we should have seen it coming. Colin saw it coming. Colin's like, that looks ass. I'm not going to go see it.
No, but he didn't say it looked ass because it was of what the reasons that we thought. He said it looked ass because he said it looked unoriginal. I wouldn't call it unoriginal. It was pretty originally a piece of shit.
Yeah. Do you have any music suggestions for this week at all?
Yeah. I didn't listen to this, but I didn't listen to this song, but I saw on the Andrew Huberman's podcast, he was talking about this song that said, people who listened to this, excuse me, oh, I'm so sleepy. On the Huberman podcast, they said that people who listened to this one song specifically for like about 3 minutes or some shit like that showed a 60% decrease in stress level, in overall stress level. It's one specific song. And the song is Weightless by Macaroni Union? What the fuck? Is that how you say that artist name? Karl? Is that Macaroni Union?
Mm-hmm.
Weightless by
No. By Marconi Union.
Marconi Union.
Wait, there's a Waitlist Part 1.
I don't know what that is. It's a 7-minute song, an 8-minute song, excuse me. So maybe they split it up.
Okay.
But yeah, here, I'll give you a little taste since we're commenting on it. It's fair use. Here you go. Here's a song.
10 out of 10.
And I thought it was kind of dumb because it was like, oh, this one specific song showed like I mean, I didn't listen to the song. Maybe the song's extra cool, but it just sounds like a lot of like ambient, relaxing music. And I assume anybody who listens to ambient, relaxing music for 3 minutes is going to show a 60% decrease in their stress level.
Cool.
What about you? You got music suggestions?
Yeah, it's just another Father John Misty album. It's called God's Favorite Customer.
You love Father John Misty.
Yeah, dude. Well, I was listening to that one album, Fear Fun, and then I would like get pushed other singles of his that I didn't like a lot, and I was like, oh, I guess I just like this one album. But then I listened to this other whole album from 2018, and it's fucking awesome. I like the first half of it a lot. It kind of, the way it progresses is it starts with like a lot of very dense instrumentation and kind of moves into more like piano ballads as the album goes on. But it's just like straight up, it feels like a old school pop, like late Beatles album. It's fucking sick. But the reason I brought that up is because I thought it would be fun for you and I to really like think about each of our personal top 10 albums of all time. And it's not like, I don't want it to be an opinion, like, what do you think the best albums of all time are? Like, what are your favorite top 10 albums? And why do you like them so much?
My favorite top 10 albums.
And I think that it would be cool for each of us to go through like two or three albums an episode or something like
What's
that.
What's the difference between like my top 10 albums and my top 10 favorite albums?
Because if you try to say like what are the top 10 best albums in music ever, it's like you bring in like cultural significance and things like that. And I don't really give a fuck about what you think the top 10 best albums of all time are.
I think that's important, bro. It's like the Drake conversation. Drake being the GOAT. I don't like Drake at all, but he sells the most records.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
To think about
those things. They're two different things. I want to know what I would rather hear what your favorite albums are and why and what makes them significant to you rather than what you think the most important albums are to everybody in the world. I don't give a shit if I'm being honest. Like,
yeah, it's so difficult though to talk about like what makes an album when you're talking about like, oh, my personal favorite, because it's just like it's my personal favorite because I like it. It sounds good to me.
Yeah, but you are good at expressing reasons why you like things and dislike things.
Well, it's because my opinion is just, more better than everybody else's. So, it's just like important for everyone to understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sure.
Yeah, like I have the best.
I'm just more interested in like what about different things. Like I would rather you talk about things passionately and not worry about whether or not it's correct or incorrect or if it actually is the best 10 albums ever.
10 is a lot.
All right, let's do 5.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do that next episode.
Yeah,
because it's going to take...
Well, we don't have to do all... I think we should break it up. Like, we could just do yours one episode and then mine the next, or we'll each do 2 and then each do 3 or whatever.
You think you could break down your top 5 albums in 15 minutes? I think you could.
Yeah, probably.
I think you could. I think we could do an episode where we break it down and do a yeah. We'll make like an infographic.
Sure.
We got a little bit of time left. Shout out to our boy Kian and Sugar Pit performing at the SAG Actors strike.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It was fucking sick. Speaking of things that are political and they might not necessarily seem it, like The Exorcist, the original Exorcist is a very political movie. Kian's music is like intentionally or unintentionally political with a lot of his songs, mostly just because he's like bitching about his bosses and getting paid minimum wage.
Pretty nice.
Like, it's fucking perfect for him to go like perform at a strike. But I want to talk about the Writers Guild, which I do know that there's a lot of the Writers Guild is like striking with the actors still, but I thought it was pretty fucking like not shitty, but the writers were striking, the actors came on, and then I heard a lot of jargon about like, finally the actors and the writers are striking at the same time, we're all in this together. And then the writers got their contract and they're just like, peace, we're going back to work.
Yeah.
I know it's not that cut and dry.
I don't know if I brought this up on the podcast, but I met a guy who is a prop person.
You did bring that up. Yeah.
And he's like, fuck all these people. We were on strike a year or two ago and no one gave a shit because it's not.
So I'm going to play you a video.
Whatever. But the actors are still the actors are still really powerful without the Writers Guild striking.
True.
So
where'd it go? I'm going to play you this video and I will play it for you guys as well. And hopefully we don't get a copyright strike. I don't see why we would. This is this Adam Conover guy, which I will preface. I fucking hate this guy. I do not like him. He comes off as a complete fucking hypocrite. He comes off like he doesn't actually give a shit. He's a fake activist who just wants fucking likes, and he has shifted his brand. Actually, no, he's kind of always been like this, but like his brand is just profiting off of being like a for the people kind of guy. Anyway, he annoys me generally, so everything he says I usually just take as like you're a fucking loser and a piece of shit. I don't know how well he describes this, but let's just listen to his thing. Here is the video. I'll play it for you guys as well. Karl, here it is. Wait.
The writer's strike is finally over, and I am so happy to tell you that we fucking won. This is the contract that we just spent the last 148 days fighting for, and let me tell you what's in it. A guarantee that a minimum number of writers be hired on every show. A guarantee that comedy variety writers like me be paid the same in streaming as we are in TV. Provisions that mean better pay for screenwriters, better pension and health for writing teams, script fees for staff writers for the first time, and protections against AI that mean that AI can't write scripts, edit scripts, or undermine our rights and credits. And we won a success-based residual. So for the first time, when more people watch a movie or TV show on streaming, the writer that created it will make more money too. These are all things that they swore to us 5 months ago they would never give us in a million years. But we went on strike and we hung together until they were forced to come to the table and meet our demands. And we changed not just our industry for ourselves, but for every writer who comes after us. And I am so proud of us. Thank you to every writer who made this victory happen. And thank you to every fellow worker who stood with us. We are going to stand with you as well, because what this proves is that when workers stand together, we win. And now, let's get back to writing. To the writer's strike.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack there. Number one, I think the best part of that, from the way he described the contract, I did not read the contract myself.
I think I've seen bullet points. It sounds pretty similar.
I think the best thing in that contract for these writers is the success-based residual. Like when a show does extra well on streaming, you get more money. I think that's probably the best thing. The one thing that got... Also, this contract is for 3 years. There goes the fucking camera. God damn it.
Was it what it die?
It just died.
That video is not going to like delete itself because the camera died, right? It should still be there.
It should, yeah, it should just be there.
Should we set up a phone real quick and do the second? The very tail end of it with the phone.
Okay, I'll just do my fucking phone.
Wait, hold on, everybody. Sorry. Put it on the like JBL or something.
Yeah. Maybe that'll work. Okay, whatever. Hey guys.
Hey.
Welcome back. All right, so maybe it sees me. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll see.
All right, so the thing that rubs me the wrong way. God, I wanted to make this a clip. Fuck.
It could still be.
The AI thing. I was talking about it with a buddy of ours. The AI thing, I don't know what the verbiage is in the contract, but it seems really clunky. It seems like it's going to cause more problems than it's going to be good. Because I understand that AI is very scary. I'm not a big fan of AI. I mean, I like AI. Like ChatGPT's sick. Sure. Who doesn't love something that'll do your homework for you, right, guys? But the idea that like AI is not writing scripts front to back. It's not doing that. And this contract's only for 3 years. AI is not going to be maybe it'll be doing that by the end of 3 years, but it's not doing that right now. And if it does, it's complete trash, right? I feel like this blanket term of like AIs are not allowed to write or edit scripts, I feel like it's just going to cause issues for the fucking writers. Like what happens when like the new norm is to use like a Microsoft Word editing thing that incorporates AI, and then like in all those writing offices you're just not allowed to use it, and you have like, you know what I mean? It feels clunky, and it feels like it's just gonna give the writers a harder time for something, and I feel like it's just they threw that in there to make people feel good, but it didn't actually do anything.
What I read was that the writers themselves can use it as a tool when they want to, but they can't be replaced by that tool. So like the writers are allowed to use it as a tool, but they're not allowed to just not hire writers. So that's why you said the biggest thing is the success-based residual, which I don't think matters at all, because I think they're just going to realize that the residuals are going to be fucking tiny because streaming, like the numbers, they're not going to make that much fucking money. Like, yeah, okay, here's your residual, but like, what they're going to come to realize that the fucking streaming revenue is going to be like music streaming revenue,
which
and it's fucking
shit.
dog shit. But unless you're The Weeknd, which The Weeknd makes a lot of money on his streaming, but it's not anywhere as close to the money he makes on tour. So it's like
The Weeknd or Drake or Miley Cyrus,
like,
or, you know,
they
big
make
people.
fucking hundreds of thousands, if not millions, on streaming, but making $1 million a year on streaming when you're The Weeknd doesn't fucking matter, because you're making $1 million a night on tour.
Okay.
But anyway, the biggest thing I think out of those bullet points that he listed were the minimum amount of writers on each show and getting paid the same like flat rate fee when you're writing a show for streaming versus what you get for a TV show from a network.
You think that's good or bad?
I think that's good. I think that's huge, because that's guaranteed income that wasn't specified before, because this contract was so old. Streamers were paying people less to write a show for Netflix than they were if they wrote a show for NBC.
Hold on. They called it a flat rate?
No, it's just a guaranteed, like,
okay, guaranteed minimum.
They're getting paid the same amount. Flat rate is just what I threw out there.
Yeah, because I was gonna say flat rate sounds dangerous, because then you're gonna have people who are like writing for Stranger Things getting paid fucking some random show on Netflix that no one ever watches.
No, it's just saying that like the writing rate was set lower for streaming because they could do that, because streaming was never included in the original contract.
I don't know how I feel about the minimum amount of writer things. What is that number?
Who knows? But that's
important though.
But
that's fucking important.
What do you mean? Like,
but they're like, we need a minimum amount of writers in a room. What if somebody wants to write a show? Like, it's just like what if you and me want to write a show for Netflix? That completely kills our fucking ability to create a show. It makes the barrier of entry huge, and it makes everything a corporate project, and then independent projects are going to be fucking down the toilet, because everything has to have at least 12 writers in the room, and you have to pay X amount. Like,
not necessarily, because
I'm just saying it could.
Because if you're
clunky.
writing,
sounds clunky. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Again, I didn't read the contract. Maybe these lawyers thought it through. I hope they fucking did. It just, like I said, that Adam dude being so excited about it, I hate him, and I think he's a fucking dipshit. So like everything he gets excited about, I want to find problems with. But it feels like this contract, with every good thing that happens, there's always unseen side effects. And I'm afraid that this contract is going to create unseen side effects. And it seems like its biggest thing is holding us back in this corporate world where we're not going to progress forward into a new generation of writing, and we're just going to continue to get what Adam does, which is this fucking dog shit daytime television fucking like night show comedy level bullshit TV on streaming services. You know?
Yeah, well, it already exists, but also, the minimum writers thing, I don't think it's as big of a deal as you're making it out to be.
It might not be.
Like, just because there's writers on the show doesn't mean that what they're writing gets put into something. And then also,
No. I'm not saying that it has. No, that's exactly what I'm saying. So now every project has to become this huge fucking thing. And if you and I write the entire fucking script, we have to hire in 6 more people and have them just fucking sit there. And even if you guys, none of you are like, even if you and I wrote a thing and we have 6 other people and we're like, we wrote this whole thing, it's sick. We don't want your opinions because it's going to muddy it up. Even if we did that, we still have to pay 6 other writers. And then it creates every project becoming this huge fucking thing that needs millions of dollars to even get written. That's my point.
Yeah, but that's already the case for every other aspect of a TV show. You have to have a certain amount of union members on every single aspect of a show. Like whether it's crew or actors or whatever, it just wasn't included on streaming. And it should be because, like, these, I mean, you still pick and choose who you have on your team as a writer, and you don't have to put in what they write. They're just there.
I guess my point is, I guess I'm being stupid because, like, my point is, like, indie films and indie shows, but these are all union-based jobs anyway.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I don't know.
I think it'll be fine.
Hopefully.
But I think the biggest takeaway from that fucking guy's video is that he's like, this is what happens when workers stand together and we will continue to stand together. And then they're like, let's get back to writing. And then the actors are still on strike and they're like, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So they probably will be fine, but
Yeah. The actor's AI thing, that's scary because, like, the fucking scanning of your face and then Disney owning your likeness for the rest of fucking 150 years or
big
whatever.
Time. That
one's scary.
Crazy.
That
they
one's
already
scary.
started doing it.
But that's not necessarily to make that not a problem. It's not necessarily outlawing AI. It's outlawing, like, ownership of likeness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good point. You should get in touch with SAG and make sure they make that specific thing so they don't just use the fucking AI hot fucking buzzword.
It just seems like buzzwords. It just and that's why I think they got that bullshit 3-year contract. 3 years?
Is that too long or too short?
Too short.
Yeah.
It's too short, dude. Fucking, I've taken shits longer than that.
I mean, it's probably a negotiating tactic of the WGA more than it is the CEOs of the.
Why?
Because they're probably understanding that, like, the industry is going to continue to change, and now they can start drafting their next contract. The reason we got here, and the reason the writers got unhappy and were forced to strike, is because their last contract was too long.
True.
And honestly, it should be short contracts. Make the union earn their fucking pay, bro. Rewrite the goddamn contracts every 3 years, you fucking lazy cunts.
Whoa. Are you anti-union? Karl's anti-union.
It's pluses and minuses to everything. It's a good thing that the union fucking got them a contract, but, like, I know I'm all for the union, but the fucking reps better do their goddamn job. Like, don't just take a bunch of people's money and then not fucking do the work. True. I think it's good that they got a short contract because now they're going to have to rewrite a new contract starting now. Like,
yeah,
they just were on strike for 6 months. They only got 3 years to get another contract that everybody loves. So, anyway.
Everybody loves. No one. Anyway. I wonder what this looks like. Yeah, all right, so next time we'll do our top 5 albums. Top 5, not 10. We'll do top 5. Stay tuned. Top 5 albums coming your way. Let's make a quick prediction. No. We'll just say we'll do quick predictions of what you think your top 5 might be.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, let's just save it.
Give me a top. Tell me. All right. Fine. I feel like it's gonna. I feel like we're gonna have to, like, play these things for people. And they gotta know. Actually, whatever. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Okay. I'm going. Goodbye, everybody.
Everybody's gonna have Spotify opened right next to their thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.